way. On passes over the middle of the field, the Bears defense are allowing a passer rating of 158.3. Y'all know that's perfect, right?
Yeah.
How is that even possible? I know they played the Lions and the Packers, who are two teams that are very good at attacking there, pardon me, the Vikings. But extraordinary. And Cowboys got a quarterback who loves himself a seam ball. I think it's going to be a long day at the office for this pass defense, especially when you see those cornerbacks who are out. Man, I'm not feeling good about that.
And yet, despite everything you've just heard, one person here today is on the Bears for this one. Brooke.
Okay, Brooke.
Yeah, who we got?
The floor is yours, Brooke. Let's go.
I know that it's
Brooke.
I know that it is flip-flop Friday here at NFL Live, but I'm going to stay on the Bears, even though we just went through every single reason why I should change my pick. But I'm sticking with it because I believe in Caleb Williams, and I think this is an opportunity against a rough Dallas defense, rough not in a complimentary way, in a way that it's really struggled. Maybe this is the game he gets his confidence back. Maybe this is the game that he can change the narratives about him not preparing well, about not practicing with that kind of intention, that championship level practice, going against his old coach. I know that Eberflus has just as much of a revenge, but I'm sticking with the Bears.
Okay, I love it.
Teammate, Brooke.
Well, we
I
appreciate
like the confidence. Yes,
we appreciate you in Dallas.
I will take Fantasy Insights presented by IBM, and the aforementioned Dak Prescott is the top player on Watson X's boom list, meaning he is projected to overperform in Week 3. IBM projecting Prescott to have a high of 26.1 fantasy points against the Bears on Sunday. Ninth most among the is listed as questionable for the Chiefs Sunday night matchup. Meanwhile, Jordan Renan also posted that New York's left tackle Andrew Thomas working his way back. Finally, he is questionable after missing the Giants' last 2 games and much of last season. All right, we are going to start with that game for our Week 3 locks and keys. We'll also tell you something that we're going to guarantee that's going to be a lock, something that will play a big role in determining the outcome. That is a key. We're here in the film room, which makes it extra special. RC, give us a lock in this one.
I mean, the first lock for me is the fact that Malik Neighbors will have 10 targets. Listen, when you think about the way that the Kansas City Chiefs have been blitzing, leaving people in zero coverage one-on-one, somebody's going to have to cover number 1. And if we learned anything about Russell Wilson last week is that he knows Malik Neighbors down there somewhere. And so I look for Malik in those one-on-one situations to have opportunities at 50-50 balls down the field, especially after we saw the way the Eagles tried to attack it.
All right, Mina, what's the key here?
Well, this naturally follows. Don't give up explosives if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. Ryan talked about the pressures. I think we'll see a lot of zone blitzes from Steve Spagnuolo. He's not going to leave his guys one-on-one versus Malik Neighbors. But they got to cut down on some of the miscommunications we saw earlier in the year, looked better last week. You know, we know what the story is right now with Russell Wilson at this point in his career, right? If they're going to beat you, it's going to be over the top. So that has to be a priority for Kansas City this week. Stop the explosive passes, and you can stop this quarterback.
All right, let's look at our picks, and we all expect the Chiefs. There it is again, to get their first win Sunday night.
I feel good about this one.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, this one's fine.
So Chiefs.
Every time you say that, RC, we lose. We lose every time you say that. Every single time.
We collectively lose.
Every time.
At least, you know what? You know what, Swagoo? Swagoo, the good thing is we lose together, right? We all go down together. All right, to the 0-2 Texans, short week at the 1-1 Jags. Swagoo, what is a lock in this one, my friend?
I think a lock is that the Houston Texans will turn over Trevor Lawrence, and I know that's going to be something on Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence's mind as far as taking care of the football. But this defense is going to have to create turnovers. This offense is struggling mightily. They're going to have to give them some really good field position and get CJ and this offense in some scoring positions where they can punch it in the end zone. Obviously, at the end of the game last week, they were able to get Nick Chubb on a big run at the end of the game to get into the end zone. But I think this defense is going to have to become that catalyst for the Houston Texans as much as I've watched this offense struggle.
Let's hope so. Dano, give us the key.
I think the Houston Texan defense has got to handle the two-headed monster at running back in Jacksonville. Travis Etienne and Tutin are become really good backs. And I think like they're different. Tutin's vision is absolutely sensational. If you give that young man a cutback lane, he will take it. I love his usage in the screen game as well. Travis Etienne's that power, get the touches guy. But if Houston doesn't handle both of these backs in the different way they're used, sometimes Travis is on the perimeter, Tutin's a little bit more in between the tackles, Jacksonville can have success against this defense in their run, but both perimeter screen game.
All right, let's take a look at our picks, and here we go.
This one on swag. That
Okay.
one ain't on me.
Now-
I ain't taking
Whoa.
it.
Wow, wait, what? What are you
I'm
saying,
not.
RC?
It ain't on me.
What? Why?
Ain't on, it's on swag.
What?
Ain't on me.
Don't put it on me. I just picked my team. I didn't remember pick the team. I didn't even talk to y'all.
I'm surprised by this one.
Talk to y'all. I just picked my team.
RC, this is on
Your
everybody.
voice sound like that.
Get in this.
Okay, all right.
Why you forget me for?
You are something else today, RC. You really are. All right, we are going. Ends on this show will be 6 Eastern. All right, that's one of the games between the 2-0 teams, and the other game between undefeated teams is a playoff rematch between the Rams and the Eagles on Sunday. Now, one question is those Rams receivers, how are they going to fare against the Eagles secondary, which has allowed only 14% of passes to wide open targets? That's first in the NFL. That Rams offense is the exact opposite. Only 13% of wide open targets or 5 yards of separation. That is last in the NFL. So, RC, what is the biggest challenge going to be for the Eagles defense this week against the Rams?
How in the heck are you going to stop Puka Nacua? Dan said something to me early this week, and he says a lot of smart things, but this was profound. He said, Puka Nacua is the best wide receiver that no one talks about as the best wide receiver. And on the other side, he has Devontae Adams, who's absolutely played out of his mind. And so where Quinyon Mitchell may follow 17, the same way we saw Stingley, the same way we saw Snead, Puka Nacua will have his opportunities to make big plays throughout this entire game. And it's the way Sean McVay utilizes him within the formations, within motions and play actions. I think they have an opportunity to have an extremely big game with number 12. And so if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm devising a way or a plan to get more bodies around Puka Nacua.
Yeah, good luck with that, though, right? Because Sean McVay is going to use Nacua and Adams to hunt the Eagles' biggest weakness, which is cornerback 2. And it wasn't exposed against Kansas City because Kansas City doesn't have the receivers to attack it. But not only do the Rams have the receivers, as RC laid out, McVay has shown a willingness to change how he uses them. I went back and looked at the divisional game last year. You remember Quinyon Mitchell get hurt. More than half of Matthew Stafford's targets in that game were to receivers aligned wide. Most of Puka Nacua's targets came when he was aligned wide. They didn't try to use him on Cooper DeJean. They used him to attack, and I think they're going to see much more of the same. For Philadelphia, in my mind, their best chance of stopping these receivers starts up front. Jalen Carter has to take over the football game the way he did at the end of the divisional game, because if he doesn't, I think it's going to be a long day at the office for this secondary.
Yeah, I would say I think the Rams are probably one of the, if not the least predictable offenses in the NFL. They're doing stuff offensively that really no one else is doing. I mean, they put Matthew under center. They go traditional run. They go new age run. They can go kind of your traditional play action, some of the new wrinkled play action. They go just straight drop back, which is literally nobody in the league does. And so how does this defense handle an offense that doesn't have a lot of tells and or tendencies? I'd also say, Mina, your point of the pressure is interesting because how are they going to pressure this offense? Because I think this offense is different than Kansas City in regards to handling pressure. Kansas City wants to handle pressure by trying to get the ball out now and hopefully making a tackle miss and whatnot. This offense will block you up and gash you. And if Fangio is going to come after this offense, I think that bodes well for the Rams.
Marcus, going back to what we were talking about earlier, Saquon had over 500 scrimmage yards against the Rams in 2 games last season. What are you looking for from that defense on Sunday?
Which is why I think it's going to be a huge point of emphasis not to let Saquon wreck this game. But with that being said, you got to be very conscious of Jalen Hurts' legs in these games, in these type of situations. They have a super aggressive D-line. I love this D-line as much as anybody's that they have with the Rams. A bunch of young guys that can win one-on-ones when they get those opportunities, but they have to be aligned and they got to be tied because we know that the one thing about Jalen Hurts is he's going to do whatever it takes to win a football game. Whether that's rushing it 15 times, breaking the pocket, and creating extra plays, they are going to have to be conscious of Jalen Hurts' legs.
Okay, taking a look at this. Mina's the only one on the round.